On today's episode, we are going to be going in depth on our tactical debrief, analysing Tottenham Hotspur 1, Aston Villa 2. We are going to be going in depth with passing networks, average positions, images during the game. We're going to go through some data as well. And a lot of things really stick with you when you watch a game. And one thing that really has stuck with me after watching Spurs is just the amount of time that they spend cleaning during a game. I've never seen a team clean so much. And to be honest, I've literally gone around my whole house cleaning everything with this white I mean, do you need a clean? But in all seriousness, it was a real solid performance from Aston Villa, one that was needed and one that answered a lot of our questions regarding mentality, character, stepping up. Unai Emery, tactical masterclass with subtle tweaks to our system, in-game changes, rotations, player movement, substitutions. It was so good. And I spoke before the game on my tactical look episode around Aston Villa having to dislodge the central two of Tottenham Hotspur and to try and make the distances larger so Aston Villa can flourish. And we actually saw that against Tottenham. Now, it was a little bit different to kind of what I expected. So here we've got both average positions of the game. Now, the biggest thing for me is this really shows that Spurs are attacking down here and Villa are attacking that way. So you can really see the comparisons with the two teams of where they actually lie. Now, here we've got the midfield two of Tottenham Hotspur, and this is Unai Emery's tactical tweak to unlock Morgan Rogers. And how did Aston Villa do this? Now, you need to dislodge players. These two players, ideally, you'd want one of them to be in that area there. You'd have the 6 and then number 30. They would be solid, compact, organised, strong, physical, exactly what they've been so far this season. Unai Emery wanted to go, I've got to dislodge these two. I cannot have this two in midfield that are going to dominate this game. So Unai Emery's tactical ploy was to attack more down that left-hand side, that left-hand channel, to have John McGinn, Daniel Marlon stretching, dragging Spurs to that left-hand side. And what does it do? Well, what it actually does is you can see through here is that it means that both these two players get dislodged. They get moved to that left-hand side, their right-hand side. What does that do? That opens up a lot of space for Morgan Rogers to get the ball and try and exploit through that area. This little tweak, moving this central two to the left a bit, opening more space for Aston Villa, was just absolutely genius from Unai Emery. And it is a masterclass because it's all about dislodging the opposition, and Unai Emery was able to do that. We can see that now from the passing network of Spurs as well. What you can see through here is that's where you've got that central two. They are towards the left-hand side, right-hand side of Spurs. We spoke about before the game that this was the area that they are quite strong. Left-hand side rotations. The distance between Xavi Simons is quite far in this one. When we saw them play against Leeds, it was quite intricate. It was in and around that zone. So we've made that distance between Xavi Simons quite large. And then you can see through here, Kudus, he's got not really much outlet. There's nothing in this zone for Kudus to hit. So Villa did a real top job of actually containing Spurs and shutting out that area, that central area of the pitch. So from a Villa point of view, that was actually really good. Like tactically, we were brilliant in that moment. And I think we just got it bang on. And again, you can have a look now at Aston Villa's passing network. And what you'll be able to see is that the space and the central area that Morgan Rogers has been able to pick up. This is sort of a passing network with an average position combined at the same time. So centrally, he's able to go in all of these different directions. The little trap has been set through here. We've got a solid base with Kamara and Onana, who are just solid. They're in their own zone. So if you actually compare the Aston Villa midfield 2 compared to the Spurs midfield 2, we're comfortable, we're set, we're in our shape. We're just going about our business tactically. We're just going about our game plan. We've got cover from Guesson in this area. We've got good networks between Pau and Konsa. Digne is quite high. So all in all, this is a very good network from Aston Villa. And just touching on that Kamara performance, I've got some stats here regarding Kamara. And while we're talking about the midfield too, I think it's important to touch on Kamara. So Boubacar Kamara for Aston Villa v Tottenham, most touches 60, most duels won 14, most final third entries 7, most possessions won 5, most tackles 4, most fouls won 4, most successful take-ons 3. This was a fantastic performance from Kamara, but he gives us that foothold. He's the engine of our performances, and we're now starting to see top level performances week in, week out now from Boubacar Kamara. He's an absolute beast of a player for Aston Villa, and we need him week in, week out. And hopefully, if he can stay fit with no injuries, then it's just going to mean big things for Aston Villa this season. He's like he's our best player. He's one of our best players. And, with him just oozing class in that midfield, he just goes about his business so well. And you can see that the Villa midfield was far better than the Spurs midfield. So that's the tactical element of how Unai Emery unlocked the Aston Villa attack. He gave space for Villa, and those were the subtle tweaks that you can see from passing networks, average positions, etc. If we do just have a quick little look at Aston Villa's heat maps then, and we'll be able to see the zones that we were actually getting into. I think this is worth looking at as well. So we've got Luca Dean operating, getting into that 18 opposition yard box. We've got Pau, who's just colossal, going into their half as well. Ezri Konsa, Rolls Royce, Matty Cash, Guesson offering something down that right-hand side. But we're going to touch on Guesson a lot as well on this episode. Boubacar Kamara everywhere. Onana everywhere. Central, Rogers, McGinn on that left playing central, and Donyell Marlon in that channel as well. Another element that we are going to talk about is the tactical positional shift of Ollie Watkins that we've seen in recent weeks as well. Also having a little bit of a different role when he's playing for Villa now. Look at Ollie Watkins. He's going down that left-hand channel a little bit more. And I think this, again, ties in with what I've been talking about of how Aston Villa unlock Morgan Rogers. Now, it's okay going, everybody's doubling up on Rogers. Okay, just keep doing the same thing. Keep finding the same player. Keep finding the same space. It'll come good. But how do you unlock him? You got to do something different. If teams are doubling up on him, what can we do different? If we can separate Rogers away from other players, so set a trap and everything goes down the left, Rogers then can pick up a little bit of a pocket of space on that right or central. That allows Rogers to have that little set trap, and then he's got a space to attack at the same time. So I think there's something in this Watkins positional shift as well that's also meaning teams that have got to look after and watch Watkins or watch Marlon and watch McGinn, and let's have an overload. You can see we've got that overload here. The overload is there. It's Watkins and McGinn. If it's not Watkins, then it's Donyell Marlon, etc. So I just think, if we take the substitutions off again, you've got the overload with Marlon and McGinn at the same time. So Really, really good. So really, really top stuff from Unai Emery. Right, so let's go into the game then, and let's analyse the game, and let's go through it. We've got a lot of things to talk about. So we're going to kick it off then with something, and we've got to start. We'll start disappointed, and then we'll get better and better, right? So something that really frustrated me a lot, have a sip of my coffee, early on in the game was Onana. Now, Onana had come in for Bogard. And a lot of you will remember that I've been going Bogard, 100% passing accuracy. Next game, 100% passing accuracy. Next game, 100%. Next game, 97. So he was comfortable on the ball, Bogard, at getting a lot of things ticking, moving. And this is early on in the game. And this Onana pass was just really poor, under hit, put Konsa under massive amounts of pressure, and then Cash has to kind of come to the rescue, and we give away a corner. Now, this is second phase corner. We've cleared this. So first phase, we've cleared the corner, really good. Next phase, really bad. And there's a number of things that I think are bad about this goal. Number one, Onana's pass puts us under pressure. We concede the corner. Then, Kudus on the ball. Not a Villa player that's running out to engage, to stop the cross. Guesson and Cash stand off. They allow Kudus to touch, cross it. And if you allow a player of this quality to pick his pass, to pick his cross, to get his head up, you are under massive amounts of pressure and you're in trouble. Again, we can see Polina and Rodgers at the back post, and we could deal with it if Rodgers challenges for the ball, but Rodgers just simply gets out-muscled, far too physical on Rodgers. Rodgers doesn't jump, header back across goal, and we've got Bentancur just in open space. And it's a real poor goal because it's fundamental basics of football. Stop the cross, goes back across goal, unmarked player. It's a bad one. And McPhee, I think, needs to have a little bit of a look at it, because I think we actually defended the crosses quite well, but I'd just like to see us on that second phase have a little bit more intensity about us. I think that's just what it needs, that little bit more aggression on it, really, because you look at Onana, Konsa, Pau heading everything away from general set pieces, but that second phase felt a bit weak to me. So I'd like to see McPhee take a look at that. Now, we were under the cosh a little bit early on in this game, and this was the Kudus goal that was given offside, rightly so given offside, but I also feel like Aston Villa need a lot of praise for our high line in this game, because it was brave, it was bold, and it worked a treat. You know, he scored off this, forget that, because this line has played him offside. So we've got to praise this line for getting it right. Cash is on the halfway line. He's obviously looking at this player, but everybody else is really kind of looking across their line, looking at that next player. So from a Villa point of view, that was just really pleasing to see that we was able to play them offside. Now, again, this felt, and I've got to mention it because this happened quite a lot in the first half. Villa getting into those kind of good areas, but quality just falling short. Now, we can see that Onana's picked the ball up in central midfield, and he's drove and he's beat one player, and it's a great tackle from Polina. But if you actually look at what's the option for Villa, is if we can play this pass, we've got a lot of space here. We've got Marlon that's on the run as well. So it's a really good screen grab of what could have happened. But it's also interesting that when I spoke on the Tactical Look episode, I actually said that I felt like the game was going to be quite ebbs and flows. One team attacks, it breaks down, the next team attacks. And to be honest, I don't want to say I told you so, but I did get it right, because if you have a look at what's going on here, we've got Palhinha and Bentancur, the two in midfield. We've got Kudus and Tell, Odebear, and we've got Simmons. Remember when I was talking about that front six of Spurs being really narrow and compact? And here we can see that it's really narrow and compact. So I wasn't surprised that it was ebbing and flowing, but we just needed a bit more quality. And you can see that just release the ball. We got options out wide. So that in turn, in truth, was actually quite pleasing to see that we was kind of getting those openings. Now, I really want to touch on Guesson, because I will say that I do believe that when he's on the ball at times, he needs to be a little bit brave. I think what we want to see from him now, and I think this is fair, we want to see an end product, I think. So I want to see him beat a man and get a crossing. I want to see him get a crossing. I want to see him take a man on and get a shot off. I want to see him score. So those are the things that I want to see from him. But I am very impressed with him. Very impressed with him, because tactically, defensively, he's very solid. And he's making the runs, which is important. Now, we can look at stats and go, he hasn't scored, he hasn't assisted, or whatever you want to look at in that sense. But off the ball, he's making the runs. He keeps making the same clever runs all the time. And now it's about Villa players actually finding him, because he's made the run here and the pass just kind of, it doesn't go to him. But he's made the run, so he's stretching teams, which is working really well as well. There is another one that I've got. Okay, we've got another one right here. So again, we've got a pass that's been hit in behind this Spurs backline. Doesn't go to a Villa player. Danso gets it and stops Marlon from getting the ball. But again, we've got Guesson and we've got Marlon, willing runners that are going that way, that are obviously stretching the opposition teams at the same time as well. And here we've got a really good pass that Boubacar Kamara plays to McGinn. McGinn recycles the ball, but again, it's incisive from Villa. But what we've also got to notice is we've actually now got the screen grab of the two Spurs central midfielders drifting over to this side. And what's that done? It's left Morgan Rogers in space. It's left Guesson in space. We've got that ball. And they're trying to shut out. They're trying to stop that ball from going central. But Villa have moved the ball to the left. We've got the runner from Digne that can go down there at the same time. And that little sort of tweak of getting them this side opens it up for Rogers. And surprise, surprise, what side does the goal come from? Well, it comes from the right-hand side. Again, we've got McGinn, Rogers in open space. We can move it on a little bit, and it goes to Guesson. Now, what I like about this from Guesson is that he's patient. Doesn't rush it. He could just ping it straight time into Rogers, but he doesn't. He waits. He bides his time. And I think this shows a calmness and a bit of composure from Guesson. We move it on a little bit. Again, Rogers still wants it. Guesson waits and waits for the right moment. He releases the pass to Morgan Rogers. Now, Rogers, quite typical of Rogers this season, guys. Passes it straight to Xavi Simons. But Xavi Simons passes it and hits it straight back to Morgan Rogers. But in this moment now, I love this from Rogers. Absolutely love it. He thinks, do you know what? This is me now. This is my time. I'm gonna beat you. And he beats Xavi Simons. He takes Xavi Simons on, puts Xavi Simons on all fours. Xavi Simons is praying for help. I need help right now, guys. I'm done for. And he absolutely just majestically moves it out of his feet. Couple more touches, and he absolutely smacks it. And it is a great goal from Morgan Rogers. Rodgers then starts to come alive, but again, we've got to notice it. Gesson, run, in behind now, foot race with Spence, pass doesn't make it. But again, Gesson is making those runs, and we've just got to make sure that we are actually finding him. Now, Pau Torres, this is where Villa now start to open up in this game. What a pass this was, guys, to John McGinn. John McGinn then plays in Donyell Marlon, who hits the side netting. I actually felt like it was in when I saw it, but it wasn't. Right. I don't really need to talk about this because we don't need to talk about it because I imagine you have all watched it, like me, about 500 times. And I'm probably going to watch it another 500 times today. This is absolutely exquisite because it's more difficult than it looks, because if you actually look now, right, Aston Villa are under massive amounts of pressure here. John McGinn is being challenged. We've got Simmons on the run forward, and Cash picks up the ball here. Cash could easily go back to Martinez because he's under pressure. We are under pressure here because the press is on. But that pass from Cash is just absolutely quite. I mean, you look at McGinn. Is McGinn saying go back? Is McGinn saying go back to the keeper? I think he must be. He absolutely, and the ball's bouncing, and then he absolutely like Pirlo-esques it to Digne. Digne's touch and flick to allow it to fall to Buendia, and you can hear the Villa fans going, "Oh, oh, oh!" You can hear them like it's brilliant. And Buendia, it's just absolutely quality from Buendia, an absolute beautiful finish, and he just nestles it into that bottom corner, and it's just quality. Now, something that did annoy me, and I know a lot of you will pick this up. This ref was an absolute joke because Porro hits his free kick at the ref, and the ref plays on. Hold on, guys. The ref plays on from a blatant ball hitting him. What would have happened if the score? Would we have gone back to VAR and gone, ref, it's hit you? I was absolutely fuming when this happened. And there was a lot of things that happened in this game. Little fouls, just really, like some of the fouls on Digne, like his leg all busted up and, not good, some of the decisions. And I felt like he gave a lot to Spurs. Or maybe I'm being a bit biased, but I felt like he gave a lot to Spurs. But there we go. So, very, very impressed with Villa. And a couple more little numbers that I think we need to talk about from a Villa point of view is Digne up against Kudus. Now, let's have a look at Kudus up against Digne. He had 6 dribble attempts and none of them was successful. So is he still in Digne's pocket or has he got out of Digne's pocket? We don't know. Kamara, I've already mentioned his numbers, absolutely sensational numbers from him. And the work rate, I think, of Gesson goes underrated, 100% passing accuracy. So he's tidy on the ball. Pau, 88%. Konsa, he'd got 92%. So all in all, this was a very good Aston Villa performance, and I enjoyed it. I think we're doing tactical tweaks. We're preparing for each opposition. We are trying to get the best out of our players. The bench is stacked full of quality. The bench is changing the game. Unai substitutions changing the game. So we are slowly getting there. Are we there yet? No. I think we've still got some more levels to go to. We can play better as a team. We can unlock more players going forward. But I think we're getting better. And we're starting to look like a proper Unai Emery team now. And the results are coming. So, really pleased. Gone through a lot there. Hopefully, it's been really insightful for you guys. Let's get to 28K. We've got about, I don't know, we've got not that many subscribers to go through now. So let's get there this week. And cheers for all your support. And hopefully you have enjoyed this episode. If you have, hit the like button, subscribe, comment your thoughts. Up the Villa. I'm just going to now go and just have a little clean, I think. Just around the house a little bit. Up the Villa.